Guys, this is not clickbait, okay? This game is so freaking funny, so enjoyable, and so exciting. So buckle up. I hope you're ready for this. So, here we have Hoang in the blue. Hoang, a legend, dude. I mean, it goes way back. If you really want to dive deep, you probably already know, but started with the Huns way back in the day. Nobody would play him. Had his unique little rushes, and then eventually fell in love with the Celts and coined the famous phrase, Celt ETC. Sorry, I just ruined the famous phrase. Here in the red, we have Phosphoru, who I've made a number of videos about. And Phosphoru is actually inspired to play the way he plays and play the game because of Hoang. He told me a couple weeks back when we did a show match between these two, it was an honor to play against Hoang. I would not be playing the game if it wasn't for him. So he was just so appreciative. I told Hoang that, by the way. Hoang just said, 11, he is annoying. And I told Hoang, bro, you created the problem, man. Hoang's English isn't the best. But I did say, I think it's funny that Hoang is so annoyed by the guy, but also has a fair amount of respect, because it's another crazy rush player, okay? So they're talking to each other here. Phosphoru says, hello, my friend. Hoang says, hello. And we're going to start it off a little bit with Phosphoru, right? Phosphoru, he's going to be going for a fast castle. That's his build. He does that with quite a few different civilizations. Now, with the Bengalis, I have seen multiple things with him. He will sometimes go for fast castle into just monks, which the Bengalis are really good with. Like, the fast castle in general with Bengalis is nice because you get the additional vills when you get to the next age. And with a fast castle, you're going from feudal to castle age fast. So you're getting the, +4 villagers essentially faster than if you do any other strategy, right? But, typically he does, the fast castle monks as a response to something else, right? So if he thought, I don't know, my opponent is going to go fast castle siege push and try and eat my TC, I think fast castle monks could be really good. What I know about Phosphoru, he doesn't necessarily love to play with monks. And he does like to do his castle build. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out here on what he ends up doing. Now, Hoang, he's going to know pretty much, you look for the stone to see if he's on stone to drop the castle. And if not, then from there, Hoang is pretty used to playing up against monks. And as a little aside here, now I'm hoping this video gets 10 billion views, right? Because if any video I upload this year deserves it, it would be this. But, that's probably, not going to happen. So, to everyone who watched, the series between these two, which we'll actually have linked in the description. We made a little playlist for it. I'd love to do it again. For anyone who watched that, the views were awesome, the comments were awesome, people loved it. Really appreciated the positivity. We also had, on that show match, $600 in total for the prize pool. Go towards these two. They brought great content for me, and I was happy to do that. So, man, this is just so funny. But again, Hoang is you're thinking, I want to eat his TC, okay? Now, if Phosphoru is going for the castle drop at home strategy, that requires you to be in castle age and then have the stone for a castle, build the castle with a bunch of vills, okay? It's easier to get a mangonel out than it is to completely finish building a castle, because the mangonel is cheaper, right? Because the castle is expensive, because, you have to build the castle. So you basically got two options, I think, if you're Hoang. You either let the castle go up, you don't try and stop that castle, and then you chill, and you wait for whatever pressure is to come, or you stop that freaking castle, okay? You stop that castle, and you win the game. You smile, you say, we did it again. We killed this Phosphoru guy. And then you just queue up, and you play with Celts 15 more times for the next 2 hours. I know what you're thinking. T90, how can he play 15 more times over the next 2 hours? Age of Empires 2 is a really long game. No, not with Hoang, guys. The amount of games these two have is insane. Their games are so short. Usually. Usually. And, so Hoang's I'm not going to go for even a 22 pop fast castle. He goes for this build which is 20 pop. If you go 20 pop on Arabia these days, that is an economic approach scout build order, okay? It is not some type of a fast castle. Truly testing the limits here. Meanwhile, Phosphoru is kind of doing his thing. He's got the villagers on stone. We'll talk about that, but watch Hoang, okay? So he makes it to feudal, drops his market, then drops his blacksmith. Notice the wood count. So this is like pretty much perfect. He's not floating any excess. That's how builds like this have to be. He's got like 8 on berries, so he's adapted that. He queues up a vill, so he's going to go up to 20 vills. And then he gets loom. And he's going to complete the market. Now, he can't sell off food because he doesn't really have any more food. But he sells all of his stone. And he's not on gold yet to make any siege. But he can kind of adapt things here. You could send some of these vills over to the gold. You can send some of the vills from food now over to wood. He wants a siege workshop. And he wants to stop that castle. And Hoang knows that this castle is going up. Like this, when I first saw this, I thought, holy crap. Hoang has figured him out. This is so fast. This is just, like, Phosphoru is just so utterly, completely dead. How on earth, like, Phosphoru isn't even on the way to Castle Age yet. Phosphoru doesn't even have the food yet. How on earth is Phosphoru supposed to drop a castle at home and do his whole thing where he protects the wood, protects the gold, gets a couple units out? It's not going to happen. Now, an important note here, Hoang, his scout is a bit weak, okay? Ran underneath the TC. And Phosphoru, I want to go back here. Now, I don't know. I could probably ask him. I'll probably forget. I'm assuming he sees this. Maybe not. Phosphoru runs past 2 vills, all right? Now, so, you know, if Phosphoru knew that this was coming, that obviously changes things. Maybe he has to adapt it in some way. But he didn't move his scout like he knew, and maybe he just clicked around, because typically he goes over to find the opponent, right? Hoang knows about the stone. He knows about the TC. He knows about the gold. He knows about the wood. Knows about the berries. Knows about the build. And he wants to get a siege workshop up and a mangonel so he can deny the castle, and then it ends the game, okay? Phosphoru goes forward, and Phosphoru goes and sees the gold. Now, pause. I pause this for a reason. So you have to think about it logically from Phosphoru. Let's say you don't even see the vills. Hoang is in Castle Age. 12 minutes with the Celts. 12 minutes with the Celts means probably a siege push because it's Hoang, okay? So if you don't see it, you know it could be coming. And with all this logic we're thinking of, you're probably like, well, I'm not going to be able to drop my castle in the spot I want then. Now, even better, Hoang loses his scout. This was the Age of Empires gods inviting Phosphoru to do something which is going to make this game oh so enjoyable. Phosphoru checked the base. He didn't see anything here, so that means there must be something forward. And so Phosphoru, as the siege workshop is up, as a mangonel's on the way, as Hoang is going to eat TC, as Hoang is here to kill, man. He's like, Phosphoru, I'm at your base. I've got you. Phosphoru leaves. This isn't Phosphoru's base anymore. It used to be. This used to be a nice place. I'm sure Phosphoru enjoyed his stay. This isn't his base anymore. And off he goes. So, like, Hoang is hyper-focused on trying to make sure this scout gets killed. Phosphoru's being really annoying here. And well played. I really appreciate that. Meanwhile, his, like, pretty much his whole economy is walking forward to Hoang's base right now. So, Hoang is here to eat TC, and, you know, he doesn't see the wood line anymore. He doesn't see the vills on stone. But he's expecting something, because usually people make a castle at home to defend from this. And, well, here comes good old Phosphoru. And he says, hi, Hoang. I hope you don't mind, but I've decided I am going to live here now. And Hoang is, like, looking everywhere. It's a ghost town, dude. It's a ghost town. He doesn't see anything. And, like, other people just don't do this. Like, you just don't see players do what Phosphoru is doing here. Off go these vills. Hoang might have saw them. I'm not sure. But Hoang sees the castle now. And I think it's moments like this why Hoang thinks, man, this guy is annoying. like, come on. Did see a villager go down there. But now we have a very interesting situation, okay? Because Phosphoru's TC is going to be eaten. But Hoang's TC is going to be eaten by the castle. Hoang now can't take gold. And Hoang needs to get to gold. And Hoang also needs an answer for the Ratha. Now, the Ratha can switch to melee mode and attack with 10 base attack, which could devastate vills. These vills here are going to find some gold. A very, very, very important moment in this game. This right here. And Hoang, unfortunate not to see that extra little neutral gold. I think Hoang is, like, really preoccupied with saving his vills right now. And he actually doesn't have as many vills. And he is now going to leave his base with everything to go over to what used to be Phosphoru's base. I don't know what to say from here. Like, do I refer to this area as Hoang's base now? Or do I change it? Because this doesn't look like Hoang's base any longer, guys. Anyways, here comes the vills, and here comes Hoang. Hoang's eating the TC. Hoang's trying to save as many vills as possible. And Phosphoru just producing the Ratha because they cost wood and they cost gold, and obviously has the gold and obviously has the wood. And here come the Ratha. Now Hoang has monks, and big moment. If those conversions happen, could be a problem for Phosphoru. He backs away just in time. And Hoang actually didn't lose that much. Like, it could have been way worse for him. His TC still actually garrisoned, and you can tell that Phosphoru's kind of on the prowl. Phosphoru is going to lose his market. Market's like a really big part of his strategy. Balancing the eco all the time. And he already built a new one, so he kind of was prepared for this. So, yeah. 35 population for Red Phosphoru. His scout gets hit in the face. And Hoang is going to try and run away. Phosphoru, I think, looking for this. And Phosphoru, he's going to pull villagers off of wood because he can't take the wood any longer. Because he knows the mangonels are probably going to be here. So he now goes over to the gold. So now he's got everything on gold. Needs to think about taking wood. The villagers from Hoang did a little fake. They did a little juke move. This vill's going to die, but the other ones will actually survive. And Hoang is building a TC now on Phosphoru's gold. Which we may now call Hoang's gold. I don't even know what to say. Now, at this point, if Hoang had all of his units together, which is kind of difficult to do, this could be a bit interesting. Now, I think with this many Ratha, if Hoang doesn't get the conversions perfect, Hoang gets cleared up. But, you know, you got to get all your units together here. It's Celt Siege that fires incredibly fast. And then you got 3 monks. You could convert 3 of the 9 units here, and then the siege could kill the rest, in theory. Phosphoru is buying food for Bodkinero now. He wants to get the ranged upgrades for his Ratha. Again, it's like a crazy unit. I remember, like, no pro likes the Ratha or thinks it's good. Oh, there was a teleport bug. Thank you, DE. But, Phosphoru, I remember when he told me months ago, he's like, actually, Ratha are OP because it's a wood and gold knight that can also be a ranged unit. And, yeah, I mean, if you get to any unit at, like, 16 minutes that's ranged, it could usually be pretty strong. Or I guess melee is actually stronger at a fast time. But anyways, you know, he just got to it at a time in the game that you don't normally see people get to it. Phosphoru does a really good job at this. Like, he'll leave his gold when he needs to. He'll leave his wood when he needs to. He just backs away with the bills. And other people will be put in a situation where they can't do that. Hoang is just hovering around, and he's probably, again, like, where are the vills? It was here, you weren't on wood. Now I'm here, you're not on gold. And, you know, Ratha count's still massing. Hoang kind of having a tough time. Hoang not ready to give up, but Hoang is behind in villagers. Hoang does have a TC, though. Hoang's starting to farm a little bit as well. So we'll have some food eco to produce more vills, and still has a really strong army if the Ratha are ever out of position. And also has quite a few monks. So we're going to see devotion from Phosphoru. And he built a monastery here to get that. He's also going to snag a relic, it looks like. But, like, devotion's a big one, so you resist conversion. That's also been a bit of a shift in the meta, by the way. I think unique unit play is a little stronger with devotion being out there. Now you have that extra resistance against monks. Not necessarily with this strategy, but, you know, it definitely has played a role. Now, I would be, like, if I'm Hoang, I'm taking out Phosphoru's market because I know how much he relies on it. This doesn't mean he's not just going to make a new one. But things could get pretty awkward for Phosphoru if he loses that at the wrong time. And actually, right now, he doesn't have the wood to build a new one. He's pulled all these villas off of wood to go to gold. Looks like maybe Hoang lost a villager here. He's got monks around to defend. What used to be Hoang's base is now Phosphoru's base. And just before the market went down, Phosphoru bought wood. And he's going to put the market right next to the castle. Just got everything on gold. By the way, I think, speaking, you know, over the long term of Age of Empires 2, I think we will see some sort of a market nerf. I really do. Like, the market, by the way, this isn't a new thing, right? As Phosphoru goes off the gold, goes back to the wood. He's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Hilarious. But yeah, I think, like, I think the prices should not be quite as beneficial. Like, to have your whole strategy around that building, which is what we see here, is a little excessive. As we see a big fight here, that's a whole nother conversation. And Phosphoru is going to dive. And Phosphoru is going to kill the monks. Phosphoru is going to kill the siege. And that is incredibly expensive for Hoang to replenish. And market also helps with coming back in games. I think it's important to help stabilize an eco. I think it is a good tool to have. Is Hoang going to get... Hoang just took that relic. I don't think he knew that the monastery was there or that the villas were there at all. But he knew about the relic because he was there before. That's funny. He says, no, thank you very much. That's mine. Hoang also looking around, hoping to take this. Now, what you should make against Ratha, if you can, would be Elite Skirm. That monk is not going to make it to the monastery. And it's kind of hard to do right now when you don't have food eco. Keld monks also not the best monks ever. But, you know, if you have 10 monks and you get 10 conversions on the units out there for Phosphoru right now, it could be good. We had a villager converted there by Hoang. That's one less villager for Phosphoru to work with, and Phosphoru hasn't had a TC in a really long time. And Phosphoru has to delete there. Guys, look at the resources collected. Look at the res collected. Jeez, I just had a mini stroke. I'm sorry. It's dead even. And Phosphoru getting a little wasteful here, in my opinion, and deletes that, but does kill the monk first. Yeah, I think my opinion on the market is it's been an issue since like 2020. I don't want anything crazy changed. I think it's good for the game that crazy things can happen with the market, crazy comebacks, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a slight nerf to it. Still want it to be utilized. Don't want it to be killed off. Don't think it would kill off strategies like this either. But just crazy stuff happening here, guys. Look at this. The monks from Hoang going in for the Ratha now. If Hoang gains military units, Phosphoru is going to lose these villagers. The monks are all going for different targets right now. It is monks galore. However, Atonement just came in here for Phosphoru, and so he's able to convert one of Hoang's monks. Now the villagers are running away. The Ratha are running away. Hoang is probably like, do I get Atonement? What's the deal here? And unfortunately for him, they do not get Atonement. So he cannot convert the opponent's monks. He would need an answer to the opponent's monks. And so slowly Phosphoru is converting these monks. But slowly Hoang is converting these vills. And slowly Hoang is converting the Ratha. And has converted multiple at different locations. And is up to, well, I guess only 2 now. And Hoang is 29 vills, and it is still only, what is now only 20 for Phosphoru, which is 1 on gold and 19 on wood, and a bunch of vills still running around, but I think they got converted. I don't know. Yeah, they got converted. Okay, so, so now Hoang has to find an answer to the monks. Not the Ratha anymore. Well, the Ratha are still an issue, but has to find an answer to the monks. And, you know, a lot of this just keeps coming back to, like, the weak tech tree, excuse me, for the Celts, right? Like, they've never had great monks. Hoang, you might want to delete those monks there so you don't donate more. They don't really have the best cav either, and Hoang's eco is not set up to be in a position to go for the cav if need be. The Ratha gets some snipes. One does get converted. Another one got converted over here. And Phosphoru will aim to convert a monk again, and Phosphoru will actually get the conversion. The Ratha's not going to kill the monk on time. Hoang's massing a ton of siege, and he's also getting devotion now. So, slowly, the market will go down for Hoang. I think that's meant to be on melee mode. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Like, what is this game? Phosphoru's trying to reclaim his base. He is now going to build a town center for the first time in 20 minutes. He's still sticking to lots of Ratha production, though, and then also the monks. But Hoang has 3 mangonels. And redemption isn't in yet for Phosphoru, so he needs to bank up another 500 gold to get redemption, so then his monks can convert the siege. Or he can use the Ratha. But, like, that's a risky game to play if there's still monks around from Hoang. And I don't think Phosphoru is necessarily expecting Hoang to still have so many of these. Hoang's actually got tons. You could also use the mangonels against the monks right now if you're Hoang, and if Phosphoru is anywhere close by, that becomes a big issue. Phosphoru's got to be careful here. Unless I missed it, I don't think he has redemption. Phosphoru loses a monk. Everything has to run away. And Hoang just has this crazy ability to hold on. He's got 3 relics, which is bringing him lots of resources in a low eco game. He's producing vills. How does he do it? I would have been dead. It feels like, you know, when Atonement came in, it kind of felt like checkmate almost. But I guess redemption needs to come next. And a lot of this stuff that Phosphoru's doing is just expensive. And now he's going to leave his wood, right? And he's going to send all of it right to that gold. Still has some houses over here, too. I'd like to see Hoang take those out, honestly. But, I mean, you got a lot of other things to focus on. Hoang is ready to eat, okay? Hoang is hungry. Hoang is ready to eat with his army of monks and Ratha and mangonels, which, oof, do some damage there. And Ratha have 105 HP. They are really tanky and could always be healed up. You ready for this, guys? Are you ready for this? Kind of felt like the tech tree was rough for Hoang, right? Like he wasn't going to have an answer to these monks eventually. Like redemption would be a problem. That everything that he had would be converted at one point. I didn't actually see this point of the game, by the way. I'm only assuming. Hoang's got to go heresy, right? 1,000 gold in the bank? Heresy would make sense. Your units get converted, they simply just die then. It doesn't snowball as hard if you get heresy here, Hoang. So what happened was, I was giggling at the start of this cast because I sped through to when, like, I wanted to see what the game was first, and I saw the castle on Hoang's TC, and I just started laughing, and then I just started casting. I don't actually know with this cast exactly how this plays out. But, you know, Heresy does kind of feel natural. 1,000 gold's expensive, but I don't know. Maybe Hoang won't consider doing that. After all, 22 more villagers than Phosphoru. And here comes Phosphoru with this tiny little army. You stay alive against Phosphoru. His teensy little eco will not be able to fund everything. But look at the bait. Look at the bait from Phosphoru. He wants those monks. He's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. And now he can convert the siege because redemption comes in. And this is the snowball. Hoang has to think through ideas. What can he do here? He did delete his mangonel. But now his villagers on the woodline are going to get hit. Hoang has to run. He's scrambling home with his other army. Phosphoru switches to melee mode. Will slice and dice these villagers. Hoang's still trying to get conversions, but the Ratha are really tricky. Meanwhile, we have villagers on stone as well from Phosphoru. So gold and stone. And Hoang is going to drop another TC. Man, I'm really surprised Hoang does not get heresy here. He must not think that his civilization has it. I think heresy It doesn't necessarily win him the game, but it really helps. He can actually fight. You can actually go for conversions and everything. It changes things massively. Maybe he checks at some point, you know? Maybe he looks at the tech tree. He's going to build another TC for now, and he will not resign. Like, this is Hoang we're talking about. Phosphoru wants another forward castle on Hoang. Remember, this used to be Phosphoru's eco. This is now Hoang's eco. Conversion's coming in. Monk with the relic gets converted. That's crazy. Mangonel gets converted. Another Mangonel gets converted. Oh, no. It all gets converted. Hoang! Hoang! Hoang calls the GG. And I said that Hoang wouldn't call the GG. I cursed him. He does call the GG, and Phosphoru wins. Wow, what a snowball that was. What a funny game, dude. Maybe not the funniest game of the year after all. The start was just so freaking funny, man. I think this game had more legs in it, guys. Like if this game was a long distance runner, I think this long distance runner would have quit in the last mile. Just didn't hydrate the night before. Hoang didn't do his monk research. With Heresy, 1,000 gold spent. I really wonder how this goes. Let's just check this out here for a second, okay? So we've got the army advancing forward. Okay, this moment right here. Let's say Heresy's in because he did have the resources for it moments ago. I like what he was trying to do, by the way. He was trying to move the relics back and everything, and this was going to be his new base. 15 monks. I guess like he still loses the vills. Okay, but right here, if Heresy's in, what happens is a couple of his monks will die, but he will still likely get some conversions. He can continue to advance forward, right? These monks then can do nothing. Phosphoru does not gain this conversion. Phosphoru does not gain the next conversion because, again, Heresy. And again, the unit will still die. But, like, these two monks would have never gotten... These were Hoang's monks. So they wouldn't have switched sides. So Heresy saves him there. He can back away. He loses vills. That's painful. Villagers go down. Life is sad. But at this stage, you still have 12 monks. At best, if Phosphoru gets every conversion, you still got, like, 6 more or whatever to convert some Ratha, which is hard for Phosphoru to produce at this point. He doesn't have anything on wood. You still got vills around. You still got some siege. Yeah, I just think certainly like the final moments of this game, aren't as bad. I'm going to message Hoang right now and tell him the Celts get Heresy. I'm just going to say it. See what he says. I've been talking to Hoang for years. Anyways, funny game, dude. It's such a funny game. Like, oh my goodness. When these two play, it is something else. Yeah, that. I'm not saying it's great if, all your siege goes down. But I think you at least survive here and maybe can figure something else out if you're Hoang. What a fun one. Leave a comment if you liked it. When these two get put into the ring together, it's so funny. I just love how Hoang thought, I can just eat his TC so fast. I can deny that castle so fast. He's screwed. And Phosphoru said, actually, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to peace out to Hoang's base instead. And then, like, both players ended up coming back to their original home, working hard to deny resources and push the opponent. It was just such a fun game, dude. Yeah, Bengali monks being strong, that's nothing new. Ratha being strong, I mean, that was the tough unit to find an answer to. I think if Hoang is a civ that actually has atonement, he's fine there because he can convert the enemy monks too. I'm not even sure he needs redemption, but that's the weakness of the Celts. Like, if I play against Phosphoru, I'm never picking a civilization that doesn't get atonement and that doesn't get redemption because you need that with your monks. But Hoang likes his Celts, and who can blame him? Just good overall engagements. I wonder if value destroyed shows. Yeah, so you could see just the value from, like, the conversions and the kills there from Phosphoru kind of makes up for the lack of res. And I have said for a long time that I think the best FC that he has is with the Bengalis because it gives you additional vills. Your monks are really good if you need them, and the Ratha is really strong. But I do still feel like that game goes on maybe 20, 30 minutes longer if Heresy's in. Hoang isn't dead. Hoang maybe wins because he can get on the light cap. Phosphoru is at the limit right now. And really didn't have like monasteries set up to produce a lot of monks in the right positions either. So Anyways, Phosphoru sent this one to me. He said, Hoang and I may never play a better game. I still think there were maybe some better games in that show match we did. Again, there's a playlist in the description. If you guys want to go right into another game between these two, just look at the recommended video and look at the playlist. But this was a quality game. Love Phosphoru, love Hoang. Love how they shake up our meta, give us some different things. And they're just unique individuals, you know? We'll leave it at that. They're just special. They're just so different than the other players. I could never play like this. I have to when I play them. They bring you down to their level. But gotta love them, man. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.